riding a Lynx was when I first saw this vehicle, maybe 23 years ago. I didn't know what to think about it. I've seen a lot of designs similar to that just, you know, seem like a company saying, oh, we made this neat concept, and they talk like it's going to come out someday. I'm just so used to things like that not coming out, even though I want them. That I just thought the Aptera was another vehicle like that. The difference is that Aptera seems to actually really want to get the car out there and sold. But I'm going to say that they seem to be delayed by perfectionism. That's just my own words. I don't think they would use those words. But, you know, why can't they deliver one car a month? Why can't they deliver something? One car a year, one car every 5 years. It's like this idea of like everything it feels like everything has to be perfect. And they're going to only produce lots of cars at once, not one here, one there. And I'm not going to say that I'm a master of business or know, you know, what is the right thing to do with getting cars into the hands of the public. But to me, I just want to see one of those on the road. And I mean like on a regular basis, not Jay Leno driving one day. I don't know if it was like 15 years ago, and that's it. Like, it just drives one day out there, that's it. It would be great if they could give these cars to students as a loan car to just drive. They don't have to, you know, sell them to the kids, the students. They can just have the cars out there. I mean, my 2012 Toyota Prius has a solar panel on the roof that runs a fan cooling system inside the vehicle to help the vehicle stay cool when it's hot. So it's the coolest car on a hot day that I've ever driven, because that solar panel on the roof pumps the hot air out of the car and pumps cool air from outside. Even though it's hot, it's not as hot as inside. And everyone that sees that says, how come my car doesn't have that? Why don't all cars have that? It's a good question. I mean, the car is already 12 years old, and that solar panel looks just like it did the day that the car was sold 12 years ago. So the technology is good. It's old technology. Solar is like old tech now, right? Yet we still don't have it on vehicles. We have it on homes. It's almost like something has to be perfect before it's used, you know, but that's not a requirement. The requirement is making a steady, progressive, making a steady transition to all the technologies that help improve efficiency. And the public is really in the driver's seat of that, because all change comes from demand. The public says, I want this, and companies say, well, these old products aren't selling. So let's sell something new that people want, right? I feel like Toyota is a company right now that I don't recognize. Like, growing up, I knew Toyota as the vehicle that goes 500,000 miles and still runs perfect. Yeah. You know, we had a truck, a Toyota work truck, that it just never quit. It just kept going. And I remember that truck had 500,000 miles on it, and it had never broke down, never had any major problems. All they would do is change the clutch in it every few years. It was used as a work truck, so it would use the clutch would have to be changed. But that was only a couple $100, if I recall correctly. It wasn't like the price of rebuilding a transmission, like an automatic transmission. But now Toyota, you know, over the years, Toyota seemed to be on the right path with saying they're going to make electric vehicles that are competitive with Tesla's electric vehicles. But then they started saying, hi. But now they seem to be saying we're going to keep sticking with the combustion engine. And what they seem to want to change is, like Jules Verne said, water being the fuel of the future. What he's talking about is hydrogen, because water has hydrogen in it. That's the fuel. And we have oxygen in our atmosphere, which allows the fuel to burn. But water actually has everything needed for combustion, which is oxygen and hydrogen. And so it seems like Toyota wants to keep using the combustion engine, but run it on hydrogen. That's what I'm reading. If I understand correctly, that's what's being said. But when they say things like they're not pursuing electric, that just doesn't make sense to me. Because Tesla's doing very well. Very well. And Tesla's just like the best electric car. It's the best car you can buy. Elon said that. He said, I'm going to make the best car. I'm going to make the best car. He said that when he was starting his company. And that was around the same time that Aptera Motors was starting out originally. Because Aptera Motors started around over 20 years ago. And then they closed because they just kept not selling cars. I don't know why. There's endless reasons that were said, but I just thought, to me, the car looked perfect. I mean, I don't care. I don't need it to be perfect. I just like the car. I would be willing to sign a release form saying I'll buy it as is. You know. And even though this time Aptera Motors is making videos, I like the team there. They're a great team. I mean, Aptera Motors is so exciting, you know. It's like, to me, the ultimate automaker. And yet they haven't sold one car, and they're my favorite automaker for the past 20 years. How is it that my favorite automaker hasn't sold any cars yet? And that's why I always say I wish Aptera would put themselves in the shoes of people that want their vehicles, that want to drive their vehicles. Because we want to drive that vehicle. And we love the vehicle. We don't need it to be perfect. It's perfect already. And I fell in love with the engineering of it, the electrical engineering, the mechanical engineering of the Aptera Motors car. And like I said, when I talk to people, I'm always surprised to find out that people know about that car and are in line to buy one. And I think I'm telling someone that doesn't know about it, and hasn't heard of it before, and they're like, "Oh, I'm in one." When I took the class, the motorcycle training class, that the CHP is a part of California Highway Patrol, our teachers, a lot of our teachers were highway patrol officers. That class is so good, it's so important to train with train in the class, learn everything they're sharing. One of the gentlemen in the class that actually is a street bike racer, races street bikes. He wanted to get a new street bike, and he was saying his dilemma was that he's already in line for the Aptera Motors car. And I said to him right away, I said, Oh, you got the right choice. That's the right choice. You already got the right choice. He already had the right choice, you know. As exciting as a street bike is, the Aptera Motors vehicle is just, it's like next level, if I say it that way. It's just like beyond, right? Beyond. And it's so important that those cars get delivered. I mean, just start delivering something. I can't even overemphasize that enough, how important it is to get those cars delivered to people. And soon, not like in 10 years. On your left.
Sorry.
It's alright. So in that case, the horn was a little bit louder than my bell, which I think was helpful. And that's what I want. I want to have a choice of what I use to let people know I'm coming, but in a friendly manner. Now I could also have an air horn, which I think I will get someday. That's going to be for cars, to let cars know I'm there. Like if a car is coming, doesn't see me. It may not stop them. It may not make a difference. If you look at Dan the Fireman YouTube channel, who is a great teacher of motorcycle safety, he says the horn, or he calls it rev bombing, when you rev the engine up. Revving the engine and the horn both, they don't make people not crash into you. But because I think the priority that he's saying is to get out of the vehicle's way as quickly as possible. Get out of the vehicle's way. Getting out of danger. And he calls it positioning yourself for safety, right? And I think these things apply to micromobility too, whether it be a bicycle, electric unicycle. So it applies to many things. It applies to safety overall. Now there's been times where I've come through here at night and there's like these big spider webs crossing the path and a big spider in the middle. And luckily the headlight of the Lynx is so bright, it lit that up and I could see it. And I don't know if they build those paths overnight or how often they build those for spiders. But I thought of all the places to build a spider web, building one right across the path is not the best place, because it's not going to last there. People are just going to run into it. So I started using what I'll call a massage tool. It's a massage gun is what it's called. They sell them on Amazon. You just hold it in your hand and put it to the muscles where it hurts. And that's helping me. I think what it does is it helps with circulation. But like any massage, I think it feels good to massage the muscles when they hurt. So that's been very helpful to me. I just started using that in the past 24 hours. Just started using it. What a difference though. I noticed my knee pads are not falling down or rotating, like turning to the side at all. Since I crossed the back where I strap them, I cross them like an X instead of just going across and across. I cross so this goes to this down here, and this one goes this one up here in the back. And that has stopped the the pads, the knee pads, from sliding down, which they were always constantly sliding down. And it's also stopped them from rotating, which they used to rotate to the side like this. I mean, they might still rotate a little bit, but not as much. So if you already have these pads, I highly recommend trying that. You'll have to readjust the straps. I think I pushed the button. Let me double check. Just in case. Yep, I hear cars moving. I have 16 seconds as of now. Let's see if I can do this. 12 seconds. 8 seconds. 3 seconds. 1 second. Bingo! We made it. Good timing. That truck had lots of toys in the back for off-road play. Looks fun. That's another thing that's nice about electric, is it doesn't make noise. Combustion is very noisy. And I think that gets a lot more attention from people, like neighbors and things. The neighbors aren't going to like noise. But electric doesn't make as much sound, it's very quiet. Okay, let's see how this is going. I was thinking about doing that path down there, but the tree's blocking it. I don't think I'll do that. Okay, this tire is sticking very good because this mountain slide. I see a lot of dragonflies. I think those are called dragonflies. One was like right in front of my goggles. Thought he wanted to go inside my helmet. I was like gently telling him to go away with my hand, like nudging him aside. There's another one. I don't know if they're drawn to the colors of the helmet, maybe because the helmet's bright. It could be that.